10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, guys? Wow, got really foggy there. My name is Ryan Edwards. Welcome to Magic After Dark. This is my co-host.
Blaze Sarah, welcome everybody to the show. I felt like I needed to
I was like, wow, that is incredibly foggy for some reason. Down in the basement, it's colder down here and it seems to fog up when we do that. But yeah, what's going on? This is the unscheduled Magic After Dark. So we're gonna see what happens tonight.
We've got the bonus episode for everybody.
That's it.
I'm excited about this one. And Ryan, you are a new man now. The death of the Bachelor has taken place. You've been reborn a new man.
You know, I keep doing this to see if I can figure out the combination to take it off, but it's stuck. It's not coming off.
The combination.
It hasn't worked yet. I haven't figured it out.
Turn it counterclockwise 3 times.
That's it. I tried. Yeah, I was like 4 times past 0 to here, 3 times back to the left. But yeah, it is stuck. It is staying on. So thank you guys. I see Tigger says congrats. Thank you, man. Thank you, Tigger. And thank you guys so much. This has become kind of like our outstretched family, I feel like. So it's super, super cool. For a second, I saw that it said Blaze Sarah, and I still read it Says Blara. Is that how crazy? It's like Says Blara is now live.
He's actually, I'm now impersonating him at this point.
It's become true. I just, tonight, my neighbor was asking me about Says Blara. He's like, so do you guys know who Says Blara is? I was like, I don't. Blaze does. And, I said, so I started watching some more of his updated videos. So Mateo says, Shazam. Yeah, that's what's happening. I can't get it off now. So
I do know who Says Blara is, but it is it's ridiculous. It's just insane. And the thing is that I'll mention it on the podcast and then I'll tell people that I know in real life about the podcast, of course. But I don't realize that by proxy I'm telling them about Says Blara because they'll watch the podcast, they'll see it.
Oh yeah.
Getting sent memes left and right. Actually no, and I'm just like, this is getting really
That's the best. That is the best.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's become such an entertaining part of the show. So should we tell them why we're on tonight?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have
why we're on tonight.
No, that's the fun part. So ladies and gentlemen, we have a massive announcement to make. Tonight we have a very special guest. It's just us. So next week we have guests. We're back to doing guests and stuff, but I've kind of had a crazy couple of weeks with getting married and going on a honeymoon and stuff. And so we decided we wanted to take tonight and just talk between us, between myself and Blaze and all of you guys out there. So we're going to be asking you questions. We want lots of comments tonight because we want to hear what you think of the show first. And then second, what you want added to the show. We're going to be throwing some ideas your way and just kind of brainstorming where we're going to go with Magic After Dark because we want to make it the best Magic podcast on the internet. So strap in.
Yes.
Let's get ready.
We got some ideas for changes for the format, and we would love your ideas as well. For everybody that's watching in chat, send in any thoughts that you have or what you think about the things that we're going to be throwing out, as well as know that we're going to have to change some segments. We've already done our farewell to the IQ test as of last episode. If you want to see a compilation of all of the different guests that we've had doing the IQ test, and check out the compilation. It's like 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's a longer compilation. But we're going to have to retire that, and we're going to be replacing with new segments. And I feel like we can definitely use this opportunity for a new slot in the show as a way that we can have some more community engagement as well. If we have different videos from members of the Magic After Dark community, which is awesome that we have that now. First idea that I want to throw out is a couple adjustments to the 20 questions because we've asked the same questions over and over. I think a lot of them are good, but also we kind of very quickly threw together a set of questions. And then
we did. That is it. We did it like the day of. We were like, What can we ask? Like, let's get 20 questions, and then bam, bam, bam. And 20 questions, really, the game of 20 questions is supposed to be like, we think of something or they think of something. We ask 20 questions to get to the final answer, right? We've used it as a way to get to know the people in a better way, which is what I think I like the most about the show. And I know I've talked to others that have said what they love is getting to see the magician or mentalist outside of being on stage and get to know them as a regular person. But I would agree that there are some questions that are not great in the 20 questions, or that we get the same answer a lot of. So I'm going to bring up the 20 questions on my phone here.
Yeah. And we also had a suggestion from Matthew the Magician, which we can get to later. This is something I was actually thinking about, is the idea of there being some kind of call-in feature. And I think that this can be also a way that we can integrate the Discord into this, is that there are a couple other podcasts that I know of, specifically David Pakman, and I think Dr. Drew does the same thing on his podcast, where he'll have people go into a Discord now, and then that's how they call in, essentially. So we could create a room that's locked, people join, and then I can drag people in if they want to ask a question of our special guest.
That's sweet. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Matthew, the Magician, great comment, and keep them coming. And then if you guys have any questions for us, like who's our favorite guest been, what's the funniest moment, stuff like that, feel free to ask away. We're going to be totally candid tonight. We will tell you everything, the behind the scenes of everything that goes into doing Magic After Dark. So yeah, comment away. And so let's bring up the 20 questions. And if you guys like these ones, maybe give a thumbs up or say you like or whatever. So our rapid questions. First question is favorite color. Do we care? Do we care?
It's like, yeah, I don't think we care.
All right, let's scrap that one.
You know, like, I mean, the thing is, it never leads to more interesting conversation.
That is true. That is true. Like, and it's not something that we've ever used it's nothing we've ever used at the end of the segment to do a giveaway or anything like that either. So not a great question. Biggest pet peeve. I think that one's not too bad. Yeah. Where did you grow up? I find a lot of times that question comes up before we even start talking or we do the 20 questions. I find a lot of times that gets said multiple times throughout the episode.
Yeah. So
would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. So we could probably knock that one out.
We're going to scrap that one. What always makes you laugh?
I feel like that one is a pretty good one. Yeah, I think that we get some interesting answers for that.
Secret talent. I find that that's a hard one for people to answer, but I think it's also a great question if they do have a secret talent.
True. Yeah. I think that oftentimes people will be like, magic, or whatever. And it's like, well, yeah. But when we do get a good secret talent, it's like, it's fascinating.
And it can open up way more conversation. So I think that's not too bad. First time you ever saw a magic trick? That's not a bad one.
You know, yeah, it's something so we know how they got into it.
This has been an interesting one because I think for the first 8 episodes that we asked this next question, it was always the same answer.
Really?
And then lately we've got some really great ones. It's if you could have one superpower, what would it be? And for the first 8 episodes that we did it, it was always flight.
True.
It was flight. Everybody wanted to fly. And then lately we've got stop time. Someone else, what was 2 weeks or last week's or 2 weeks ago, I guess. 2 weeks ago there was
Denny said something about, I feel like it wasn't Denny's a really mundane thing. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't.
Tigger has a good suggestion.
I forget.
How about the biggest mistake during a performance?
I love that. Fantastic question. So let's add that one in.
Yeah. So.
Let's do.
I can take the place of where did you grow up? Biggest.
Yes. Yeah, I'll do that number 3. Number 3. Oops.
I think that we might be editing the same.
Yeah, we definitely are because it.
Did it just update?
Yeah. I don't know if it did. And now I'm typing, where did you grow up? So here, I'll back out of it, and you can edit it because I think it is gonna. Nope, mine didn't update.
Okay. Well, we can do it individually.
Oh, that's why. No, it is gonna update. I'm on LTE for some reason and not connected to my Wi-Fi.
So, now another thing. I would like to say, the inspiration for me going, maybe we should change up 20 questions, was I was thinking about it, and then I remembered that Snoop Dogg has a show that he's been doing for a while. I don't know if he's even still doing it on YouTube, and he would interview different people, and he would ask his own kind of, set of questions. And I wanted to just look at some of the questions that Snoop Dogg asks.
Nice. Sounds good.
We inside the Smoker Studio, everyday people, aka real nigga shit. I'm gonna ask you some questions. You answer to the best.
Are we gonna get canceled on YouTube?
Yeah, so it's like, hey, whoa! I was like, Blaze, what are you playing here? I was like,
YouTube. I mean, Snoop, just because you censor the caption doesn't mean that YouTube's not gonna demonetize us, man. Maybe we shouldn't be reacting to. Okay, let me see. Here's a good question.
To the best of your. At the Smoker Studio. Yeah. What's the first thing you do or think of when you wake up?
That's a pretty good question. What's the first thing you do or think of when you wake up?
I like that.
That's a good ass question.
Even 21 Savage agrees.
Nathan says favorite place to travel to.
Burger.
Like that too. That's not a bad one either.
Favorite place to travel to. Okay.
Let's see what other questions we have. Dream performance venue. I think that's a great one. Most cherished memory. That's interesting because I feel like that one catches people off guard sometimes, because I feel like people think first they go, do you mean in my entire life or just in Magic?
Yeah.
So maybe we just need to reword it or something. But favorite food, always.
I feel like the favorite food and then following it up also with favorite pizza topping is a little repetitive.
Yeah, we can get. I would say trash pizza topping.
Yeah.
And leave favorite because we're gonna go into lasagna.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we've got to have something food related just to lead a breadcrumb trail to lasagna. Yeah.
Exactly. We don't want to go too much pasta though, so I think pizza comes off. Favorite movie I think is a good one. Favorite magician has been interesting. We've got a lot of different answers for that, but I think a lot of times people are trying to rush and they just say you or me. And so maybe that's not a great one, but
maybe, yeah.
Oh, Matthew had a good one. The trick that took them the longest to master.
That could be good.
That could be a good question.
Yeah. It took you the longest to master.
Mateo says, latest fast food they've had. That one, Mateo, you gotta bring a harder question, Mateo.
Mateo, have some go-go squeeze.
If you won the lottery, what's the first thing you'd buy? I think that's a good question.
Yeah.
So what's your most highly recommended Magic book or product?
I mean, I feel like
it's been pretty good. We've got a lot of the same answer, I would say, with what's the book I'm thinking of, Blaze? Maximum Entertainment. It's been answered quite a bit. Or like Tarbell or Card Call, like those books, which is great.
I think that's a good one that like people, tend to find interesting. Yeah, can gain some value from.
Favorite TV show?
Yeah, I don't know if I care that much.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Are you into favorite TV show? I think I would be more interested in people's favorite movie than I would be their favorite TV show. Yeah,
fair enough. I would agree. Guilty pleasure. I find like people don't know how to answer that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's an odd one because people. I think like everybody knows what a guilty pleasure is. Like ice cream, like divulging in ice cream at midnight or whatever is a guilty pleasure or something like that. But I find when we're going rapidly, people you're like guilty pleasure, and they're like,
Yeah, that's true.
They just get held up.
He goes, "What's your favorite cereal?"
My favorite cereal,
Honey Shredded Wheats.
That is some bullshit.
What's your favorite cereal? That's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit. Honey shredded wheats. What's your favorite pair of shoes of all time? Is another one that makes sense for that culture.
That,
like,
yeah.
Rap culture would be also interested in Jordans.
Sasha says, "How many tricks do you carry around in your head?" Meaning, you're ready to perform it. I would say maybe like, what's your everyday carry? Something like that, maybe.
I feel like everyday carry would be easier than like.
Or like, what's one trick you always have on you, or something like that.
Yeah, because.
Or maybe
I don't know how to answer the how many tricks do you carry around in your head. Like especially if I was under pressure with time, I don't know the answer to that because it's like if I have a deck of cards, then I guess like there's hundreds or whatever that I could do, but like how many am I gonna actually do at the drop of a hat? Maybe only like 20.
No, I would agree. I would maybe say like, what's your go-to effect? Like when put on the spot or whatever, or what's your everyday carry, something like that. But I think that's not bad. Are you editing these ones in? Are you adding these?
I'm kind of not exactly sure which ones to edit.
Okay, so sounds good.
I've like cut out. I'm cutting out blanks where.
Okay, I'm taking out favorite TV show. And I'm gonna take out guilty pleasure as well.
All right. Okay, it disappeared on my end, so that's cool.
Okay. If you had one wish, what would you wish for?
Okay, yeah. I mean,
it's not a bad one. We've got a couple times people say more wishes, but I think other than that, it's been not too bad. Favorite toy growing up, I think it's always fun. We haven't got to that question very many times.
Yeah.
And then the real stumper of the whole 20 questions is obviously favorite sports team.
Yeah, favorite sports team I feel like has to be in there, maybe as question like 21.
21, yeah.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, that's a good question. Here's the thing I'm thinking. I wonder if we don't even call it 20 questions, but it's just like rapid fire, and we just see who can get through the most amount of questions. So maybe we create like a list of 40. And then we see, because there's been a couple of people that have got 20 and had time to spare, right?
That's true. Yeah. So we can just have a big list.
Yeah. So we could have 30 questions or 40 questions, and then just see how far people get. Maybe we can make up a graphic or something to show which magician is in the lead.
Yeah. That would be interesting. Yeah.
But I think if we do that too, then we got to make sure that their answers are good answers. So like we got to keep track of, because if we say like favorite magician and they're like you, that's not a substantial answer to get credit.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, here's a good question that Snoop has. Let me bring it here. Okay. That's not it.
All right.
Well, I want to know what that was first.
I don't even know what that was. He said, "What's the worst job you ever had?"
Oh, I love that. I love that question. That's a must. I worked a lot of jobs before I went into Magic full time, so I really like that. It's interesting to hear too if people had jobs outside of Magic.
Yeah, true.
Because there's a lot of people that have just started doing Magic and that was it. You know what I'm finding is if I sit like this right here, the spade on the King of Spades makes it look like my mohawk thing is like even higher, right?
Connection of your mohawk. That's hilarious. At first, I didn't even notice. I thought that your mohawk was really high.
I was doing this and then I was like, oh, this is hilarious. If I just sit like right there, it's like it just grew another 3 inches. Where to use Magic when not officially performing? That's a good question from Nathan.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, here's a question. If you could remake any movie and star in it, what would it be?
Oh, I like that. But would that take over favorite movie?
Yeah, I don't think you could have those two.
You couldn't have both, but I like that better than just what's your favorite movie.
Yeah, so maybe we just do that. So I'll put it in as 16. If you could remake any movie and star in it, what would it be?
What would it be? I love that. Yeah, you guys are continuing to ask questions, which is awesome. Keep them flying, keep them coming. Again, if you have any questions for us about previous episodes or any other ideas, we just, like I said, we want to make this the best podcast on the internet for magicians to watch and to have a good time. I always said, I say to Blaze all the time, my goal is to make it more like the Tonight Show. And so that's why we have segments and stuff like, the stupid games like the Oreo, getting an Oreo in our mouth and stuff. So we added some minute to win it games. So if you have any minute to win it games that you've seen in the past that you think that would be hilarious to watch us do, comment those. Let us know because we'll try them out. And then
Snoop does also ask if you could have any superpower, what it would be. I see it at the end of this video. So
nice
question. It's tried and true. It's Snoop approved.
Matthew says, I have a question. What was the funniest moment ever of the show so far?
For us.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's a good question. So what you guys don't see is obviously before the show starts, we're backstage on StreamYard and we're usually talking to the guests. And so one night we had the Eversons on. And I know we've talked about them a few times of setting the record. But we hopped on with them about 10, 15 minutes early before the podcast started. And we were chatting. And usually if we don't start right at 10 p.m., it's because we're backstage chatting with the guest. And usually we're making sure that their video's up and running and their audio and everything sounds good and looks good. But the Eversons, I said to Anya, my wife, I said to her, it'll probably be a shorter episode tonight because, the Eversons are a little bit older. Didn't really think they were going to stay on for that long on a podcast. Thought they would get off pretty quick. And so for me,
exact opposite.
They did the act. And so it ended up being for me the funniest thing because Anya, usually I have the podcast upstairs in my office. And our bedroom is right beside it. And so she'll come downstairs and sleep downstairs on the pullout on Wednesday nights. Absolute trooper, but wants to make sure that I don't wake her up and stuff. So she came downstairs and I said, oh, you don't need to worry. Tonight, you probably just sleep in the bedroom. I'll be done in probably like hour and a half. No problem. 4 hours and 4.5 hours later, it finished. And then usually we go backstage and we chat with the guest for like 5-10 minutes, usually just saying goodbye. Have a good one. Thanks for coming on.
This is way more than 5-10 minutes.
She came back. She went downstairs and then came back upstairs because she couldn't sleep down here. So I brought my laptop downstairs and we went for another 3 hours. So we in total were on for almost 8 hours with the Eversons. With no food or drink or anything break. So I felt like I was working a full-time job again. So I think that's probably the most ridiculous to me. It wasn't like super crazy funny, but thinking back on it was probably the most ridiculous thing that we've had happen in the show so far.
That was definitely and also just even during the show, I can't think of a specific moment, but I just think that the most laughs that we had in an episode might have been with the Eversons. For hours, and then we just kept going for another 3 hours after our longest episode ever.
And if you watch the episode back, I think the last hour, or at least half an hour, I heard Anya come back upstairs to try to go to sleep. And so the whole time I'm like, oh, so funny, like trying not to talk loud.
Try to be as quiet as possible. I remember.
So if you watch it back, that's a funny part of the episode. Go to the end of the episode and you'll see me trying to talk as quietly but open as possible.
But Space has a question. He said, what do you do when people ask you to do a trick once again? So do you mean like, oh, can you do that again? I assume is what he means by the question.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think that, well, it's a fair question for somebody to have. Like, you assume that most audiences would ask you that because, like, if you just did something cool, then they're gonna want to see it again.
Yeah.
So
I usually do this smoke bomb and I'm gone.
No,
No,
just throw down the smoke bomb.
Yeah. It is a good question. You know what? There's only one stage magician that I've seen that does that, and Copperfield does it with his duck.
Oh, his duck thing,
Duck,
yeah.
duck basket routine, or duck. I don't know what you call it.
That was
Duck bucket.
That's
Um,
funny, yeah.
Yeah, because they say do it again, do it in slow motion and stuff, and it's a great thing. But I mean, you know what? Because I've worked in restaurants and stuff like that, so I've had people come back week after week and ask to see the same thing because they'll bring other people there to watch it. So I don't mind performing a trick more than once if it's something that I know that they're not going to get. If it's something that I feel like, okay, these people are definitely going to, what they're doing is they're watching now for education, right? We always say first time is entertainment, second time is education. Yeah. So I don't think it's great to do a card trick back to back, but there are tricks that you can do back to back that I think baffle people even more the second time.
Yeah, like I think, you know, it depends on the effect. Like if it's the effect I put out Double Agent, where like with that effect, I'll have people want to see it again, and then I'll do it for like multiple people, and then I'll just do it right over again, and I'll just do it for somebody else, you know, that's next to them maybe, you know, and have them be the one that's naming the card or something. But I don't worry about necessarily doing stuff over again. I think that it's as long as you control angles and things and make sure that, you know all of the viewing angles for all of the material that you're going to perform, unless it's something that if you watched it a second time and it would be very easy to figure out, like I wouldn't really worry about it. You know, I don't really worry about performing the same thing again, or, you know, especially if I'm in a restaurant setting then, or a bar setting or whatever, and you're going to different tables or different groups of people, you might perform for one group and then somebody from that group gets up and follows you and wants to see what you're doing at another group, you know, and then you might be doing something similar, the same piece. And I think it's just making sure that it's just as entertaining for them the second time. So I wouldn't really worry about it. Or you can just say, oh yeah, but let's do it a little bit different. And then you just do something else.
If it's something that I really don't want to show too, I'll be like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's get back to that one, but check this out. Let's try this first and we'll come back to it. Usually by the time I've done something else, it's either time for me to move on and go somewhere else, or they forgot about the first thing anyways. So just move past it, or like Blaze says, everything you perform should be able to be, I'm not going to say everything. Most things that you perform should be almost instantly repeatable. Like I've had people come to my show 8 weeks in a row and they still don't know how anything is done. So I think, obviously tailor if you're in those situations constantly, then tailor your craft for that. So
I mean, and I think that like, you can almost talk about magic in a pretty open way with your audience without giving away or ruining their experience. But it's like you could say that, the coolest thing about magic is you get to show people things that they've never seen before, but you've already seen it before. So where's the surprise in that? Let me show you something that's like that, but this is going to be even crazier. And then you just it's like, you don't need to feel pressure. Now, the thing is, if you have something that is not instantly repeatable because the method requires a lot of setup and things, then you're obviously not going to be able to do it right back to back. But you can transition into something. And I think that as long as they're enjoying themselves and enjoying the experience, then it's fine. It's your show.
I mean, I've even said to people like, hey, if I'm just meeting them, introducing them, let's start off with something simple, something easy. And it's not going to be something simple and easy. I'm still going to hit it hard. But then it's like, then even if they love that first thing, they're not going to want to see it again because they know that the next couple things that are coming are even crazier, right? And so I'm kind of pre-feeding them that as they watch, things are going to get more and more nuts. And so just like, hold on, you don't want to see it again because the next thing is going to be even better. So
yeah, even if you say something like, we're still just getting warmed up, like this isn't even the crazy stuff yet. Like if someone's freaked out and then they ask you to see that again because they were so freaked out by what you did, and you say, "Oh, this is just the warm up. We haven't even gotten to stuff yet. Just give me a second." Now they're going to be freaked out and anticipating
what's coming up.
Being just like, "Whoa, that wasn't even the crazy stuff. I can't wait to see what he's going to do next." And then you can do whatever you want. And if you're continually entertaining them, then they're going to forget about that first trick, very quickly.
Nathan said, "Do you have a dream guest you would like on your show?"
We talk about this a lot. We have a lot.
We do.
We'd love to have.
I mean, we just talked about it yesterday. We were like, what about this person and this person, and what could this lead to?
Like people like Teller or Penn or really big people that are in Vegas would be great and fascinating people to talk to.
And I feel like I could reach out to Teller. I've made a bunch of stuff for Teller, and I just haven't reached out to him yet. But I feel like that's definitely a possibility that he would love to do that.
That would be great.
So I should probably start working on that. But let me throw this back at you, Nathan. Is there anybody that you guys would like to see on the show that you haven't seen yet? I mean, one of mine definitely, and I'm going to reach out to him as well, is Darren Brown.
Yeah,
I think Darren Brown is brilliant. But behind Darren Brown as well, I would also like to get Andy Nyman, because for anybody that doesn't know, Andy is one of the writers with Darren and is a mad genius as well. And so I would love to get him on. Trying to think of who else. I mean,
if you guys want to see me rap battle Jabrizi, then you can put that in the request.
I want to see that. I may type in a comment. Oh, I can't comment in the comment section. I can only private chat that to you. So that's my vote. Rap battle with Jabrizi.
Rap battle with Jabrizi. Yeah.
I might have to start.
I've been preparing for the
I used to freestyle like crazy in high school, and I haven't freestyled in a long time. So
he said that one of the 5 reasons magic is dead is that there's not beef between magicians like there is in the rap game. So I'm just like, hey, you want some beef? We can start some beef.
Yeah, we can start beef. We could do a roast of Jabrizi to start some beef.
I don't know if we should do a roast of Jabrizi. Well, he would have to be on.
He'd have to be on, yeah. But it would start beef, right? Like it would potentially start lots of beef for him. Then they could have a rap battle.
Yeah, we could potentially start beef. Someone said David Williamson. I think that would be
that's fantastic. That would be a crazy episode too. Yeah. Daniel says, how much? Daniel, I'm not sure what you mean, how much. So comment what you mean, how much.
Yeah, no, Jabrizi used to be my neighbor. He used to live across the street from me. Tigger, remember that? So
Tigger, that was going to be the question at the end of the show. You just lost out winning another prize.
Marcus Eddy.
Marcus Eddy.
Yeah.
Marcus is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen Tigger says, but if someone is following you, can't you have them be in on a trick, like have them hide a duplicate? So if you had someone from another table following you around, that's a good suggestion. I've never done that. I've never asked someone to get involved that's not either a close friend or an accomplice. But I don't.
The idea, like, I would rather do something that's dual reality than to do something that is like it just like that. Like, if, for example, I would rather secretly load that into their pocket earlier, and then if I know that they're following me wherever I go, then I go up to the next group, and now they, and now they're going to be freaked out that that thing appeared in their pocket, or even force them a card, tell them not to look at it, and then later on force that same thing to somebody else, and now they're blown away that it is the card. But just giving it to them and having them be in on it, I feel like is just like, it'll impact their experience too negatively for me. Yeah,
no, that's fair enough. Nathan said Chris Ramsey. Daniel said Jabrizi and Blaze. Blaze is on
here every week. Is he saying how much money costs for that to happen? Let's start a Patreon, and then
Patreon to get it happening. I like Exploring Space said, dude, how to overcome performance anxiety. I do slides perfectly while practicing, but when show someone else, my hands start shivering and super shaky like a gigantic earthquake.
That's a good question.
I mean, I think the only way is to keep doing it. People will tell you, oh, yeah. So I used to speak. I was a pastor for 10 years, and so I spoke in front of people all the time. But I still remember the first time I ever spoke in front of adults. I was teaching youth before that and stuff. And the first time was like a Sunday night service. So like not very many people there, but I was speaking and I almost started crying. I got like so emotional while I was talking because I was nervous, but then I was also passionate about what I was talking about. And I was shaking like crazy. And I remember just going, I'm doing what I love to do. So if you really love magic, first you should be at ease. And if you're practicing at home and your slides are perfect, then it is something that you're passionate about and something that you love, and you're good at it, which is great, which should make you confident. So as long as you're confident going in. But the second thing is, I think as I progressed, as I kept speaking in front of people, I just became more and more and more comfortable. I think Blaze would say the same thing. The first time, I'm sure you did a card trick in front of people, it wasn't smooth. It wasn't great. You were probably shaky and nervous.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I never necessarily. I'm lucky in that I didn't really deal with shaky hands as where my nervousness would manifest. I think that I would get sweaty hands, or I would get I would feel a change in my breath. I'd feel almost as though my capacity, like if I imagine that when I'm taking a deep breath, it's going like down to my diaphragm, it would feel like I was breathing, and this was the breathing to here. It was much shallower. I was taking more breaths. I felt like my breathing rhythm was off. So I think that a way that you can deal with that physiologically, and this is what a lot of actors are taught, is the idea of starting from the breath. If you are trying to manifest the emotions of feeling really frantic in, say, a horror movie or something where you're scared, then you're going to first like actually impact your breath, and that will physiologically make you feel a certain way. And so that's kind of like the same thought process with meditation, is like if you're focusing on your breath, then that can impact you, with how you actually feel emotionally, mentally, everything. So if you start breathing how you would if you were very calm and controlled, and you start with that can help. But another thing is, I think that you mentioned in your comment is Exploring Space, the idea of when you practice sleights, you do them perfectly, but then when you show them, it's a different experience. And I think that everything that we do and all of the different parts need practice. And the thing is, performance requires practice. So the way that you deal with that performance anxiety is by practicing the performance part of it more, by doing it as much as you can at every opportunity, performing for people that you see in the street, perform for people at restaurants, bars, different locations, friends of yours, performing for family members. Just get your reps in. Another thing that's really great with magic that you can keep in mind is that if you're a musician and you play a song, let's say it's a cover of a song. So you play a song and you're really out on a limb there. You're on the line, because the thing is that people know how that song is supposed to go. So if you hit a rough note, then people can immediately pick up on that and they know you made a mistake. The thing with magic is that people don't know how it's going to end because they've never seen before what you're trying to share with them, or at least they've never seen you do it. So they don't know what the ending is. So that's a part of preparedness. And I think that's part of the job of the professional magician, is having outs for every single instance of what could go wrong, what mistakes you could make, what things the audience could do that you might not originally plan for, or might not be exactly them interpreting your instructions correctly. And if the outs aren't something that are blatantly obvious, then one strategy you can do is visualization. Visualize the performance, go through every step in your head and rehearse, and don't just practice sleights, rehearse performance. So be in a room by yourself, nobody else is there, You could put, you could look at a lamp and imagine the lamp is the person that you're performing for or whatever, but do a full bodied performance and practice performing, because you'd practice that just like you would practice slides. And when you do that, visualize all of the instructions you're giving the spectator and all of the ways that they could potentially misinterpret or do something different, and be prepared with outs. That way it's not, oh no, something went wrong and I don't know what to do in this moment, which could genuinely make you afraid. If you've thought through all of the things that could go wrong or the things you could make a mistake on, what happens if my hands are sweaty and I do this slight wrong? What happens if, the spectator hands me the pen back, but they didn't recap the pen, and now I've got to do this fumbly thing? Prepare for all of those things that could happen, and now you're not going to be caught off guard. And there's never an instance that could catch you off guard, and you'll feel so much more comfortable and confident in the performance environment. So
2 things I would add. One is, the nice thing with magic is that you don't have to start off with something that is super slight. Like if you're doing these incredible like knuckle busting slides and your hands are shaking, then do something that's easier right off the bat. Gradually get into the harder stuff, because as you're performing for those people and they're giving you reactions, your nerves will calm. I found there's been times for sure when I went to perform and I'm nervous and I'm like, that's okay. I'm going to do my go-to effect that I know I could do in my sleep. And it's going to kill, but it's also then going to give me this massive adrenaline rush of confidence going forward. And then I'll try out the more difficult stuff. And sometimes I'll hold on to the difficult stuff right to the very end. And I'll say to them, hey, you know what? This is something new I'm working on. Let me try this. And then really try the stuff that, maybe it could fail. But at that point, they've already seen so many crazy things that they're already prepared for it. So, and there was something else I was going to add that had something to do with, I was going to say, with Blaze, when you were talking about, visualizing everything. So I would say Blaze is helping me with part of my new show. And I would say even when I'm reading through the script for the show, like I remember doing the opening monologue, I think with yourself and Brandon, and I'm like, there's a part in it that there's a clock going, and I'm reading it out to myself or to Blaze, and I'm still feeling like I'm on stage and I'm going tick tock, and like, really dramatizing. Like that wasn't really dramatizing, but I'll dramatize the sound effects and stuff in that circumstance, so that I feel myself like I'm on stage right now, and this is how it's going to be read, how, da 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 da. And so that when it comes time to it, when I'm doing the show, it's like I've gone through this 1,000 times, and I'll rent a place, or a few of my friends have places, and I'll go over to their place and just rehearse by myself or with 1 or 2 people, and I'll run through everything and say, here's my script. I'm going to run through it. Let me know, mark off spots where I'm off, or, if you hear something better and stuff. So it's constant rehearsal, months and months before hopping on stage. So.
No, I feel like, those are definitely a lot of good tips. And something that like I was always taught in theater prior to getting into magic was just you perform how you rehearse. So rehearse right. That way you perform that way. Because the thing is that if you, every time you practice or rehearse something, go like, oh, I know that I need to make sure that I hit that mark, but like I was kind of off a little bit, like, but I'll remember the day of. No, you won't, because the day of, you're focusing so much on the audience and trying to be present with the audience and everything else, your lines, that you're going to resort to what becomes muscle memory, what becomes natural, and that's how you rehearse. So the thing is, if you're especially in magic, if you are only practicing the sleight of hand part, but you don't rehearse actually running through and performing as if you're talking to an audience, then when you go out and perform for the audience, you're going to perform like you rehearsed, which is like a guy who was sitting in his room playing with cards, but didn't actually think about what words were going to come out of his mouth, or didn't prepare, or just run through everything as if it was a full theatrical performance, you know? And also just like that can lead to more anxiety if you're constantly having to think about all of those things. If you do a full rehearsal, like a proper dress rehearsal, then you can actually have done it before and feel that just in your muscle memory and be more present, instead of having to like be having this weird internal analysis of like trying to think about all those things during the performance. That's not what you should be doing in the performance. You should be performing. So
no, 100%. And I would say to that, even playing sports, it was always, you know, practice how you're going to play. All the time, that was the thing, because, you know, if you don't practice hard, you're not going to play hard, you know. It's exactly the same thing in the theater or on the sports field is, practice how you play. So set up those situations, get your friends. Like if you're worried about performing for people in a live situation, then get some friends or family members that you do feel comfortable performing for. And even if you don't, then just keep practicing in front of them until you feel comfortable, and then move on to the next group. I just gotta plug this in. It's my
the idea of, I once heard someone call a trick a cocktail-proof card trick, meaning that even drunk it can be done. The thing is, every trick can be a cocktail-proof card trick. The more you rehearse, then the more it will be natural, and the more you don't have to think about what you're doing, and then you can focus on actually conversing and just being present with the audience. Like if you're needing to be in your head that much, the more in your head you are during a performance, then the more you're not engaging with the audience, just being present, you know. So,
Exploring Space says, thanks dudes for the valuable advice. By the way, you guys have the same lighting setup, which looks like you're in the same room. Yes, part of our je ne sais quoi.
It is je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. It's our high budget for the show. We like to look like we're in the same room.
Speaking of like theater and film and everything, I'd love to share this project that I shot.
Can't wait.
So back in 2017, the end of 2017, I was one of the lead roles in a horror movie that originally was called The Find. It has since been renamed, and it is now hitting theaters, select theaters, on September 3rd. So in 2 days, we have a big premiere that's going to be at one of the theaters on the 4th, and we're going to be doing like a photo shoot and everything. But this is the trailer for Burial Ground Massacre. I do some magic in it.
Wow, that is a change of name massively from The Find.
From The Find to Burial Ground Massacre.
Burial Ground Massacre, wow.
It definitely has a much more overtly, this is a like slasher movie title.
The Find sounds like, oh, okay, like maybe thriller.
Exactly.
Ground Massacre is like, wow, this is going to be
it's a massacre. All right.
Hardcore,
Already spoiled some of the plot points just by saying it's a massacre.
The massacre.
But yes, so I do some magic in it, and so this will be.
I can't wait to see this. Let's blow this guy up.
Here we go.
So many of our dearly departed are buried here, right under our feet. It's time to come back home.
Now listen, son, no parties. And of course, no one goes into my private
What?
Hey, Mr. Larson, don't worry about a thing.
It is on, bro.
Damn! Wow, this place is freaking huge.
Yo, man, this party's off the hook, dog.
We got to stay in this mansion for the whole time while we were filming. It was like weeks just living there.
Listen to this.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
This manor built on Indian property, but right on top of an Indian burial ground.
It's true. That was interesting cut.
It's true.
Like, all right.
Sometimes I think maybe there really is a curse.
Something is seriously going on here.
What are you talking about?
According to legend, the ghosts of all the slaughtered still haunt these very woods.
Where are Adriana and Kayla? We thought they were with you.
This whole place, this whole house, the burial ground, everything that around us.
Your hand shakes because you have doubt. The curse is alive. After all, we can thrive in life and in death.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen.
It's the movie. It's like a real movie. Wow.
It is.
It is.
It is. It's like a real movie. That was crazy.
So,
well, congratulations on that.
Thank you, man. I'm excited for it to come out. I'm very interested in seeing like how much of the way that it was in the script it comes out like in the actual film, if it's gonna be the same or not.
I love Tigger says, Blaze, please tell me you're not the guy who hears some noise and goes off alone to investigate it.
Leo just said, what? It shows everyone getting killed. I watched the whole movie through the trailer.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. So I'm really excited for that to be coming out. It will be available on your favorite streaming platforms on September 3rd. So in just
is it on streaming Can I watch on Netflix like in 2 days?
It will be available. Oh wow, my camera froze.
Yeah, you're frozen.
But here, let me turn off.
Where can we watch this?
So if you see, there are the different streaming platforms. We've got iTunes, DirecTV, Fandango, whatever the Voo thing is, Redbox, Xbox, Google Play,
sick.
Hoopla. All right, all of those things.
Well,
so,
I know what me and Anya are doing. Oh, dude, that's Friday night, too.
Friday night, man. You got plans for Friday night now?
Yeah, I got a soccer game on Friday night.
Well, yeah,
we're gonna do Magic After Dark on Friday. But I now know what me and Anya are watching this weekend. I will download it on Xbox or something, and we will be watching Blaze. Which I have to comment. Your hair in that movie is, yeah, that's some hair, man.
That's some hair, man.
You had some hair.
What I got now. I mean,
yeah,
I'm tying it back a lot, but
yeah, that was a
different from how I did. And it was funny because they reached out to me like maybe 6 months ago, and they were like, "Hey, we want to shoot one little pickup scene because we feel like it would transition, would be able to do it." And I was like, "Hey guys, I look totally different."
Yeah. You're like I look 8 years older. They're like, you just filmed it 8 months ago, though.
But I also am gonna do a video for my YouTube channel where that has to do with this shirt.
Yes. Yeah, the shirt is epic.
If anybody's seen my my Fullest appearance, you might realize that it looks familiar. So that's it's just funny because I've essentially used that shirt. It was like my favorite shirt for a while, and it's getting retired. I'm not gonna wear it anymore. But I wore that shirt so many times for so many opportunities, and it was like a lucky shirt. And now it's done. Now it's retired. So 4 years ago is finally coming out, and I forgot I wore the same shirt, and I wore it for
I was gonna say, so on Friday night we'll see if it's a lucky shirt or not. Does Blaze survive the massacre or not?
There is a sequel to the movie. There is a sequel to the movie Burial Ground Massacre 2 that's going to be coming after this one, obviously. But I cannot confirm or deny whether I am in the second movie because Leo said, "Bro, I met you in that shirt." Yeah, okay, so I wear the shirt a lot. This shirt. I have
That-
photos of my 8th grade graduation, not
In
even
that
high
shirt.
school graduation, 8th grade graduation where I wore that shirt.
No.
Yeah,
And you still fit in it 4 years ago?
still fitting it. I
How
still
big?
fit in it. I still fit in it a year
Yeah.
ago. We got fool us in March 2020.
Yeah.
It's still fitting it for
Oh,
a long
man.
time. I didn't
I
start
love-
working out until after that. I feel like I probably wouldn't fit in the shirt anymore, actually.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, next week or Friday night, Blaze Sarah will be wearing that shirt for the final time.
For the
You have to
final
put it on.
time, we're
You
gonna
gotta put
do
it
a
on.
Proper send off.
You got to put it. We retired the IQ test on here. Now we are officially going to retire that shirt. After watching the movie. So.
Says Blair, please don't make a meme about that shirt before I post it on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Hold off on that one, Says,
Hold off on that
till after that. But
I'm gonna do it
then
for-
after that, then it's all yours.
Then it's free reign. Then you can take all.
But I love that he said, "Sorry, I'm late." It's okay, Says. Tonight is a chill night.
Yes.
He says the shirt must have a ceremonial burning.
Maybe.
See, if
I
you
mean,
lived
I'm not
if you
gonna
lived
wear
here, we would take it out to the fire pit. And
I have a fire pit. I feel like I couldn't do that with that shirt, man.
No, you got to hang it up. It's got to become like beside your one guitar up there, because you have like Slash, and then you've got the other two guitars on the other side of the guitar. You got to hang the shirt. I think it's just got to become a thing.
Just frame it.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that I don't know if the shirt would like be a good memory anymore, because I feel like I think of it now as like the last time I wore it. Oh, when I didn't fool Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
So no, it was still a good memory overall. But
Can you tell us what your character's name is in the movie?
Chase.
Chase.
It was just close to Blaze.
Let's see. There was another question that came up. It's actually from Exploring Space said, "How do you deal with hecklers, dudes?" No, I just take them out back.
Yeah,
that's it. Get your toast. No, I mean, I don't get heckled a lot.
I really don't anymore. No, I really don't get heckled often, and I think that I don't be afraid to push the hecklers back in a way that still keeps you on the side of all of the rest of the audience members.
Yeah,
I think if there are other people that are watching, as long as they're on your side because they're enjoying what you're doing, then they're gonna turn against this guy and they're not gonna be backing him up. So just don't come off like a jerk to this person, but at the same time understand that you're the one that's choosing to perform for people, and so you can stop at any moment if they're going to be like that, and get the audience on your side, be charismatic, and be friendly, and then
I always had a trick in my repertoire as well that I knew was like no one could figure out, and so it was always like if I was getting heckled or someone I was a tough audience member, then I'd just hit them with that one, and I knew, and then that would be it. That I wouldn't have a comment or anything with them the rest of the time. I love that Daniel said, "Can you wear the shirt for the rap battle?"
Wear the shirt for the rap battle?
Yeah,
I will wear the shirt for the rap battle if Jabrizi wears this.
Oh, okay. Yep, that is a must.
Right?
That's a
I'll
must.
wear the shirt if he wears
I just want to know who sells that. Like, where was that purchased?
Maybe I should get like wings too,
Like if he comes on for a rap battle, I might wear something like that as well, like dragon ones or something.
Dragon. I was thinking dragon.
Yeah, and trying to think of what other birds or like crazy things have like pterodactyl or something. You just have like spikes for hands or something.
Yeah, let me see. Dragon costume with wings. Man, imagine Ryan just hosting the rap battle like this. Just
done.
They're mechanical wings too.
No, you like press a thing and they go up and down.
No way.
Dude, how
Turns
much are
whatever
they?
you're wearing into a costume.
They're $26. Amazon Prime, ladies and gentlemen. I think we may have to buy those for the rap battle. If we can get Jabrizion to do a rap battle, I will wear those.
No, that would be great.
I'll call myself Count Edwards or something like that.
That would be, yeah, this is hilarious. I'm trying to figure out what makes them, like, what they do as mechanical. Oh, pull on the strings to open wings.
Oh, so they just go like, oh, well, that would still be epic for the start of the show.
Oh, yeah.
If we were like, what's going on? Wings.
You just pop out your lats.
That's it.
Pull downs.
Wings. That would be hilarious.
No, that would be really funny. Yeah. So, and we're gonna make this thing happen. It's gonna happen.
What we should do is start beef every week and then just be like, what's up, bro? You scared to rap? Scared to battle?
With just one person or with different magicians all the time? And we try to get them on the show by insulting everybody.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Copperfield, bro, you even rap? What's going on? Come on.
I bet you're trash at rapping. Let us know in the comments if you'd like us to add a freestyle segment to the show where we make our guests have to freestyle. They can cop out of the freestyle by doing a magic trick. But if they are not prepared to do a magic trick, then they must freestyle rap.
Yeah. I thought about that or whatchamacallit. Now I can't remember what it's called. That dancing. When they just dance the interpretive dance.
Oh,
there we go. Interpretive dance. Yeah.
That's hilarious. They have to dance. Yeah, we have like the wheel. We were talking about potentially a wheel of challenges.
Yeah, I called it the wheel of misfortune.
The wheel of misfortune, and they have to freestyle rap, dance, do a trick, eat something weird, sing. Who is a magician? Who is a magician that is the same in person as they are when they perform? I mean, I would say I'm pretty much the same person. I mean, I definitely have a stage not persona, but people will say I have a stage voice. So when I get on stage, it's a different voice. But I would say I'm still the same person. I think that over time I'm becoming more and more the same person. I think that I think that a lot of people start off and they're like, oh, have the best heightened version, most polished version of yourself be your performance persona. And then a lot of magicians I think will do that in order to, especially if they are more socially anxious or whatever, they'll want that to be, who they present themselves as. And I think that then as you become more comfortable with yourself as a person, then they start meeting in the middle.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think there's still a polish. Like I remember Peter McKinnon came to one of my shows and he texted me on the way home and he said, I never knew you were so funny. And I said, well, that's because in everyday life, I don't need to be the center of attention, the funny guy in every group that I hang out with. I'm fine with just like hanging back and chilling, being mellow. But when I'm on stage, it's just me, right? And he was like, yeah, I never saw that side of you before. And so I think things come out on stage like that, where you are a little bit a bigger persona, but at the same time, it's still me, like all the time. But
I'm trying to think of somebody who is the same like exact person on stage or off.
Jackie Yu.
Jackie Yu is pretty much Jackie.
Jackie is Jackie.
Well, Jackie is more chill in person.
Yeah, it's true. I always, but he still says, "Oh my," all the time.
Oh my.
I saw History Through Cardboard asked if we know who Lester Green is, and then I thought the same as Sasha that he had maybe misworded it and thought Leonard Green, but he says no, Lester. Do you know who Lester Green is? It doesn't ring a bell to me.
Well, someone said Leonard Green. Oh yeah, and he said nah, Lester.
Yeah, that's what I said too. So I thought it was Leonard. I'm gonna look it up. Maybe I do. but
I just googled
not-
Lester without the green. That's great. Wait, Lester Green. Oh, Lester
Oh,
Green
is Beetlejuice. Yeah.
No, he's Beetlejuice from Howard
Yeah,
Stern.
from the Howard Stern show. I would love to interview Lester Green, but I don't know how that would relate to magic or
It's so
anything.
funny if we had this guy.
He is very very special. If we could get him on here, 100% we'll have him on.
I liked a TikTok that he appeared in the other day. I just need to check and make sure that it's like okay to show
To show it?
because my TikTok feed is just horrendous. Like it's just a bunch of stuff that probably couldn't be shown on the show. Because I intentionally, anytime that I see a crazy person, like someone who is not just being weird, like they're actually insane, I immediately click like on. I double tap that TikTok so fast because I want my algorithm to be filled with more crazy people.
More crazy things.
Yeah, those are the things that make me laugh. Is crazy people.
Tigger T says, do you think that say Chris Angel is the same in real life? Because I wouldn't be able to tell without meeting him.
I've met a couple times, and he's definitely not the same as he is on stage because he plays it up so far.
He doesn't yell in person, but when performing, he yells a lot. So I've met Chris a few times. I would say not the same person in person. Dress wise and stuff.
I think Colin Cloud is very close.
Yeah.
And on stage. Yeah. What were you saying? Dress wise?
I would say dress wise, Chris is the same on stage and off stage. Like his persona is the same. His character is the same, but it's definitely a massively heightened character on stage or when performing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He's pretty chill outside of that. Says Blair says if dig a hole, if dig a 6-foot hole, how deep is that hole? Lester, about 20 feet.
I have seen that quote. That is an actual quote from Lester Green. That's so funny that History Through Cardboard was just trolling us. Just getting us to, I was like, Lester Green, but everybody knows him as Beetlejuice. I just can't find this this TikTok that I like. Oh, you've seen this TikTok, right? Let me. When he's eating, when he's eating here, and he's like, he's at McDonald's, and he's got his cup.
Order, bro.
Oh, I don't know.
Order, bro. For Sprite, they gave me clown juice.
Clown juice.
That's awesome.
The Beetlejuice Lester Green video on my TikTok that I like videos, but no, that would be hilarious. I mean, I think if we were trying to really go off the rails, then having some of the Whack Pack members would be crazy. But it definitely doesn't fit into the Magic After Dark thing. I think that we try to go as off the rails as we can.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're not going to really invite non-magician guests on.
Yeah. I mean, we
were to do it.
I think if we had non-magician guests on as well, it would have to be something that was going to help the magic community. Yeah. So whether it's a producer or something like that, who, or like someone that was really incredible at lighting and stuff like that, like we would have them on to talk about how to light things properly and stuff. But I think that would, again, only be to help magicians make the craft better. So
exactly. Yeah. So I think that maybe we should start wrapping.
History Through Cardboard says, love y'all. You guys made my night.
I'm happy to hear that, man. Yeah. I think we should probably start wrapping up a little bit just because I'm getting alerts that there's a tornado warning and it sounds like crazy thunder right outside my
that doesn't sound good. I agree. I mean, tonight was just kind of a night we wanted to hop on, talk with you guys. We may do this every once in a while. I know we're constantly bombarded with finding guests and stuff like that. But always feel free to hit us up on Instagram or Facebook. If there's someone that you think you want to see on the show, let us know. Or if you have an idea for a segment or a game or something like that, let us know, because we're always up for trying new things and having fun with the episodes. There's a couple of great comments that came out tonight, like the Discord and being able to bring people on and ask questions. So
yeah, and yeah, I think that we're gonna definitely implement something like that. So if you are interested in being able to in the future call in and ask a guest a question, then you can go over to 1v1magic.com.
Yep.
That is 1v1magic.com, and you can go to the Magic Discord. You can join. You can hang out with us. We can jam, and then during an episode, you can have the chance to call in. Please don't be jumping on saying any slurs and stuff. Please,
yeah, keep it nice.
As fast as possible. Please don't make us do that, so that we can have nice things and keep this as a feature of the show.
Yeah, so we can keep nice things like that. Sasha says, congratulations. Thank you, Sasha. I appreciate that, man.
Beautiful wedding photos as well, man.
Oh, yeah. I got lots of wedding photos and stuff. I have some decks of cards as well. So tune in next week, because we'll give away a deck.
I want a deck, man.
You'll get a deck. I'll send you a deck. You get a deck. What else was I going to say? Yeah. One last question, because I know this is something we talked about for a little while, was about merch for the show. Yes. So quickly, 10 seconds. Do you guys want merch for the show? Comment right now. Do you want Magic After Dark t-shirts or hats or favorite genre of lasagna t-shirt? Because that's what I really want.
Yeah, 100%.
Alex Harlow says, what time next week? It is on at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday night. And next week, we have very special guest. Should we tell them?
I think that this one's a pretty exciting guest. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he is an absolute beast. I remember the first time I met him was at a convention in New Jersey a couple years ago. And the guy, blew the socks off the room. We have Mr. Stewart Mcdonald, FISM competitor, world champion. The guy's done it all, competing in FISM again in Montreal. And so he's going to come on, talk about everything that went into setting up that epic routine. If you haven't seen him, go watch his Fool Us. That's only a small segment of what Stewart does in his FISM routine, and so it's going to be pretty epic next week. So make sure to tune in for that. But I haven't seen any comments come on merch. Thought all of our guests want lasagna t-shirts, so we've asked. They're yep, lasagna t-shirts.
So if not for you guys, then I guess more for us and for our guests, because if you don't want merch, then you ain't gonna get it. But
got a comment.
But we'll make it happen. Also, while you guys are here, please like the video. We really appreciate it. And yes, we will see you again. T-shirts would be cool, said Alex.
Hey,
T-shirts
there we go.
Hey, there we
Alex
go.
voted. Yeah, we got some crazy things planned. Magic Live 24-hour episode, lasagna eating contest, lots of stuff. Says Blair says lasagna t-shirts are a must. Yeah, we got to make that happen. That's going to be my job this next week. I'm gonna make that happen.
Lasagna t-shirts. I've already got a merch store set up, so we can get it up in 5 minutes. It wouldn't take long. So,
ladies and gentlemen, next week,
lasagna t-shirts.
Lasagna t-shirts. It's happening. Well, should we end every episode like we start?
Oh, but of course.
No. See you guys later.
All right. See you guys next
special episode. All right. See you guys next week.